Let's roll.
All right. Hello and welcome to the Retro Detroit Nerd Fighters podcast. My name is Ian the Well Informed. I'm here with Phil the Philip Badger. Thank you.
I'm not a cat, but I haven't looked at my driver's license, so I can't be too sure about that.
Without a care in the world, I mean, if I were a cat, I would just be like, I don't care. I mean,
A cat's life is kind of underrated at times, especially if you get a sweet house cat gig.
I mean, the streamers that I look at that have cats are just having a very busy time. Usually,
especially when the cat wants to be a part of the stream.
Yeah. No, like if it's not like this one where you can't where the cat isn't properly filtered. I do see some streamers who have real cats that still want to be a part of the stream by jumping on their back and things like that. But that's neither here nor there.
Yes.
But no, I wanted to. I know this isn't on the list, but I completely forgot that there was Project for Awesome this weekend.
Well, yeah, I couldn't be sure if it was in February, if it got pushed into March. I know it was delayed from its usual time, but I wasn't sure how long the delay was.
I think they're going to what's it called? I think they're going to keep it at February now, given what's happened. Like, I'm looking at it as we speak, and they've raised more money this year than the last 2 years combined.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it makes sense for a couple of reasons to keep it in February as opposed to moving it back to December. I don't know how it is, and speaking for myself only, I know that December is a very busy time for me financially speaking. So, I would like to support Project for Awesome at that point, but there's so many other financial needs at that time. It's something's gonna have to give, and I think a lot of folks kind of probably feel that way about the holiday season. I think Project for Awesome moving away from that holiday season, I think, will enable folks to be more generous.
And I see like Project for Awesome now versus December. You see that there's things like we've talked about MatPat before. We've talked about Markiplier and Mr. Beast before, and they have their own charity with like things like St. Jude that they do in December. So there's a lot of competition in the at that time. So February seems like it's a
little less congested.
A little less congested, and also I think one of the big reasons why it's making so much right now is that like the American people, like they're fed up seeing like small nonprofits that closing down, and so they want a this is their way of saying um being able to
Being
give
able
these
to help,
small
right?
being able to
Being a,
give them exposure more than
mhm.
ever. So and that's a good thing.
Yeah, and I hope one thing that we do get out of this is a pandemic when it's all over is, just a reminder of just how much, we are a society. We're not all islands in America, but we're people who depend on each other. And and to that end, we need to have to start recognize that it's a good idea to have everyone's back. So
Yeah, it's like you said. Yeah, it's we do not. Um, it's a good thing. Yeah,
mhm.
I like these. This I've always liked this type of charity that's able to uh, um, expose the big companies and the little companies that really need the help. But
Mhm.
yeah, um, but yeah, what else? So, um, if you were a TV character, who uh, who would you say you would be?
If I was a TV character,
Yeah.
no, I like to think that I would probably be a character that's seen as somewhat heroic and helpful and nice to everybody, but I think the reality would probably be seen more like Chandler Bing than I would like.
I mean, I get that sometimes, and I can see that. I would say you're more reserved than him, but just to be nice. Um, but no, like when I was in um, when I was in school, I'm still in school right now.
When
Um,
haven't you been in school, Ian?
uh, 2012 to 2019, but
Oh, okay. That was a nice 7-year stretch.
yeah, eh, they don't last long, do they? But no, but no, back when I was like middle school, high school, people used to call me Screech from Saved by the Bell.
Uh-huh.
Just, I'm saddened to know that he passed away the last couple weeks.
He did, and there is a degree to which even I'm sad about that, but I'm also hopeful now that he's able to find peace, because it sounds like in his post Saved by the Bell years, didn't he had kind of a rough go of it at times.
Um, I I think it was CNN. I saw a video that said that his residual checks were like $2 to $3.
Ooh, ouch.
So when people go back to him and say he makes a good amount of money, it's like no, he really did not. And um, I forget how he passed away. It was just
He
a
had a very aggressive cancer, apparently.
right, but yeah, that's unfortunate. It was um, yeah. The only thing I know that like the most noteworthy thing out of what's it called? Outside of Saved by the Bell that he did was he was in at least one TV show called Celebrity Boxing.
Yeah, I heard about that. I thought I had read that he was in a metal band at one point, and he was arrested for being in a knife fight in Wisconsin somewhere, and spent some time in jail as a result of that. Um, he's just he just yeah. I wish he had better luck and been able to not be typecast as Screech, but it just didn't work out for him, I guess.
Uh, yeah, it's a shame. But yeah, I have no clever transition out of this, so I will go straight. I will go straight to. I, I do. Wait, I have a good
Okay.
transition. I mean, um, somebody should have um, stole from the rich to give to him. That's what was really needed. And speaking of Robin Hood, I saw on YouTube that if you if you go to YouTube, Robin Hood Men in Tights is free with ads.
Ah, yeah, I think I saw that. Yeah, you mentioned that, but I haven't watched that movie in years.
Like we um like right after the show, we talked about Robin Hood last time about how they uh
The Robin Hood
were
app, yeah.
how Robin Hood app was being the opposite of its name.
Hmm.
But then we see this I see this parody movie and I found that to be ironic, at least a little bit, that it's free to me.
Some programmer at YouTube has a has a little is a little on the nose right now.
Yeah. I don't know if it was free when I first looked at it, but I don't I just ironic to say the least. Um,
Hmm.
um, so what other things have been on the YouTube space? I think you sent me something.
I did. Um, do you remember a show from the 90s called Beavis and Butthead?
I my mom never let me watch that show, but I have seen clips of it and things like that. It's it's an acquired taste, at least for me.
Um, I can see that it's an acquired taste, but it was definitely my jam back in the 90s, and whenever I get a chance to check it out again, I usually will take it. And some brilliant somebody with a lot more creative sense than I um, took dialogue from Beavis and Butthead, specifically Beavis, and matched him up with Legend of Zelda cartoon from also back in this one is in the late 80s, part of the Super Mario Super Show, and kind of did a semi brilliant mashup that I wish I had come up with, and I know I'm not creative enough to come up with, but go check it out. It's the Legend of Beavis, and it's about 10 minutes long, and doesn't need to be much longer than that. And if you're a fan of Beavis and Butthead, it's a treat.
Yes, and I watched in the comments on the of the video, we're both scratching at the same time. Of course, we're
Kind of like
talking about
yawning. It's
Beavis
kind of
and
like
Butthead, and
yawning.
yes, we're talking about Beavis and Butthead, and we're scratching at the same time. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Um, but
Now I'm all
no,
self-conscious.
um, but no, it's just like the level of hey, when you said when they say that when you said that more creative than you were, I think this person was more creative than most. Because
Hmm.
if you saw within the first minute and you looked in the mirror, um, you saw Beavis walking away.
Hmm.
Um, I most people don't see that the first time
I know I
through.
didn't, because I'm wondering what you're talking about. I'll have
Yeah.
to go watch it again. Not that I really need an excuse, but this is a good one.
Um, but no, like just really, I'm sorry, it's just really clever editing.
Uh-huh.
I uh, I need to send this to people, but I don't know who to send it to because I don't want to offend too many people.
You could just put it, you could just make a social media post that says, I don't know who needs to see this, but if you do, you're welcome.
Hold up. Thanks. All right. Um,
Hopefully that little clip meets a better fate than the Legend of Zelda Netflix series.
yeah. I did post it. Yeah, it did. The Netflix series for Legend of Zelda did get canceled upon getting some attention for it.
Hmm.
I guess somebody from Netflix wasn't supposed to post it then, and so it um absolutely it got canceled. Nintendo cut ties with it.
Yeah, we all know Nintendo's real protective of their intellectual property. So if that's how it went down, I'm kind of not surprised. A little disappointed, but not surprised.
Yeah, but then speaking of Nintendo again, there's going to be a Mario series called Playing with Power on Crackle.
Is that what? Can you kind of go through what that's about? Because I didn't have a chance to look into that.
It's just supposed to be like a Mario series, and I'm gonna look it up. Give me a moment.
Yeah.
But from what I've heard, yeah, that one got announced, and that one did not get canceled.
Not yet.
Uh, let's see.
And you said that's on Crackle, right? That's
Yeah,
if I
that's
I didn't know that's a streaming service, right?
yep. I don't watch many things on there.
Dad,
It's not.
I got good news.
It's
Dad, I bought you really
it's
good news.
not. It's what's it called? It's I watched Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 on Crackle, but it's it
I
is
didn't know Crackle was still around, in all honesty.
uh, Nintendo is trying to bring it back, I guess. You don't know.
That's
Snap, Crackle, Pop. I don't know.
Who knows?
Who knows? Yep. No. Uh, well, I all I'm getting is the Nintendo Power Discord,
Hmm.
which
Well,
is
I found an article. It's a docu-series about the history of Nintendo. So,
which is a start for Nintendo.
uh-huh.
But then we I see an article that says that Nintendo has filed trademarks for Legend of Zelda stuff. Oh, I'm looking for
Yeah.
the
There's been a lot of rumblings about how Nintendo's going to celebrate the 35th anniversary of Legend of Zelda. And are they going to put more effort into it than they did celebrating the 35th anniversary of Mario?
I mean, they bought trademarks for Legend of Zelda, Phantom Hourglass, Ocarina of Time, Skyward Sword, and I forget the last one. I want to say Majora's Mask. Um,
Yeah, possibly. But no love for Spirit Tracks.
oh, no, not for Spirit Tracks. And that's unusual, seeing that what's it called? The TV series got canceled.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, they cancel the series and then they file for trademarks.
Mm-hmm.
That doesn't make a whole lot of sense.
Right. Do you read anything into these trademark registrations or?
Only if um I mean, I don't know the details of it. Is there anything worth mentioning about it?
Not that I'm aware of. I typically don't read too much into trademark registrations because a lot of times it's just renewing them in order to maintain the protection on them. So,
Okay. Yeah, usually when a company does that, like, means that they're going to look to do more things with it, of
mhm.
course.
That can be what it means, certainly.
Hopefully they don't sit on their hands with Legend of Zelda series,
Hmm.
which is, in my opinion and most people's opinion, not going to happen.
Hmm.
um, um,
We know Nintendo likes to take their time with anything Legend of Zelda, so
yeah, they are notorious for delaying Legend of Zelda games.
and
Especially,
I think the fact that when they do come out, they're rated 10 out of 10 across the board, pretty much says, yeah, Nintendo, take all the time you need with these. So,
yeah. Um,
unlike certain other games that, spend a long time in development and still feel rushed.
yeah, Nintendo really goes out of its way to make sure that their developers and team really get um um it, are at least positively motivated, or at
Hmm.
least, and they do their best not to lay people off or anything of that nature.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and I think, it was Shigeru Miyamoto who came up with the statement that I think there's a lot of wisdom to it. A delayed game is good eventually, but a rushed game is bad forever. So I think, Nintendo does kind of live by that.
Yeah, but there are some games like, and it's not on this list. CD Project Red.
Yeah, we weren't gonna mention that. We were gonna find a way to mention them, weren't we?
Yeah, I heard that they got hacked by a hacker group, and then their assets were sold to the dark web.
Mm-hmm. Supposedly,
Yes.
that's not. I've heard some rumors that that's really wasn't a thing, but it probably was a thing.
The only thing that could make this funnier is if it were stolen by Zelda and then sold to Ganon, but
Well, I mean,
because of the
whomever.
Dark
I mean,
Realm.
yeah, I think from what I read, part of the conditions of the sale was that no whoever bought the source code isn't allowed to like release it or do anything with it, which everybody who participates in those kind of transactions on the dark web is paragons of honesty. So I expect we'll be seeing leaks from that at some point.
Yep. Yeah, who knows? Uh,
But I did a bad thing the other day.
please
I
do
bought I
tell.
I bought Cyberpunk 2077.
Hey, my brother forced me to buy it for him too, so
Oh,
no hard
well,
feelings.
now I did buy it secondhand for like $25, but I did buy it. And you know what? It's not that bad. I could see, I tried it out a little bit for a couple hours yesterday, and for reference, I do have a base PlayStation 4, which is, I think, the console that's regarded as one of the more problematic ones for this game. And I'm on the latest 1.11 release, so it's been patched a few times and a few times beyond that. I found it to be pretty playable. It looked good, handful of visual glitches here and there, but when I think back to my experience with The Witcher 3, and my horse got stuck in a tree within a tree, and I still finished that game and had a good time with it. So I'm not sure that I want to continue with Cyberpunk right now, but I might come back to it after another patch or two. But
I mean,
it's fine.
I I've looked at other streams for that game and doesn't look bad, at least from what I've seen. Watched maybe about 30 minutes and saw um, how it looked. And it looked okay.
Yeah, it doesn't look pretty. It doesn't look too bad.
It seems like the type of game that if a friend said, "Hey, play with me," I'll play it, basically.
I think if there weren't the heaps and heaps of expectations on it, I think it would be regarded as, a 9 out of 10 game based on what I've seen right now.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if that deteriorates the farther into the game I get, so we'll see, but
Yes, we shall see, or
Mhm.
you shall see.
I shall see at some point, but
Yes. And if you dare to review it, please review it on here.
yeah, we'll see if I come back to it in a couple months here.
Okay.
I need a break from the Ubisoft style of open world right now. So
You're saying like the Watch Dogs type of stuff, right?
yeah, the Assassin's Creed and the Immortals Phoenix Rising. I need a break from all that.
Yeah, just just a soft reboot into Cyberpunk.
Exactly. And I did finally finish Watch Dogs Legion the other day, and it was a good idea. And I just wish Ubisoft had really committed to the premise. And
I
some of the
understand. Oh, I
Yeah,
understand.
because it's fun that it's cool that you can recruit people off the street to join your hacker group. But when it seems like everybody you recruit is equally
Hey,
proficient in hacking and gunplay and hand-to-hand combat, kind of undermines the premise a little bit of all types and all walks of life working together to fight back against a fascist takeover of London.
um, sounds a little familiar, but but I won't go too deep into that though.
But
Uh,
if Ubisoft revisits that concept for the next Watch Dogs, I'm intrigued. I want to see if they see how much they embrace it.
it's like any game or
Mhm.
any project you work on. Um, it is easy to be at the top of your game. It is very hard to stay consistent.
Mhm.
But
But my hat's off to them for trying, for trying something new.
now, how is this? Is this Legion? How is it different? How is this game different from the first two?
Well, Legion is there, it's a game where there's no set you're not playing a set character. You're recruiting from the citizens of London who are randomly generated, and you can recruit them, into your organization. Some are a little more willing, some are not. Some don't want anything to do with your organization. So if you really want them on your team, you got to work a little harder to recruit them. Um, and then,
I got you.
yeah, but that's what makes that one distinct from the first two.
But hey, so it's sort of like the it's like the Final Fantasy VI or of the Watch Dogs series, basically.
Yeah, if Final Fantasy VI had a randomly generated cast of characters.
Final Fantasy VI had a lot of characters, though.
It
That's what
sure
I'm
did.
getting at.
Right. But those were all scripted. So.
Yeah, they're more or less, yeah.
Mhm.
Um, have you ever played Sort the Court?
No, I have
Have you
not.
heard of it, though?
No, I haven't.
Uh, that's a game that I would recommend to you. I'm not sure if it's a free game or anything like that, but look it up. It's called Sort the Court. You're basically the king of a city, and basically you see like representatives of the city, like an old lady, a devil, a tax collector, um, all sorts of different people and demons and walks of life.
Mhm.
uh, but uh, it's sort of like what you're talking about. But you're at the position of being the king of the city.
Hmm.
Um, but uh, um, that's all I have to say on that. I do. Um, Last episode, and please slap me if I make a mistake like this again. um, I said Jim Sterling um, identifies as he, him, and on his last video, he identifies as they, them.
Oh, okay. I wasn't aware of, I hadn't actually investigated to see what they were calling themselves, so I didn't recognize it as a mistake. That was my own ignorance.
I mean, that was a mistake on my part. No worries, Phil. I I don't feel very comfortable making that type of mistake, but wanted to um I wanted to correct that.
Hmm.
um
But the record's corrected, so
yeah,
we know better now. So we'll work harder to get it right going forward.
yeah, and that and like others that I've seen within trans and non-binary community, that is um that is subject to change.
Hmm.
I'm still jerk jerk, so that and I
Hmm.
always will be. So that um, but that too is subject to change. So
Hmm.
um, but then again, I was just saying that because um, sort the court being the king, Jim Sterling's the king of games journalism, quote unquote.
Hmm.
That was the transition, but
Okay.
um, um, I'm we didn't have enough time last week to talk about Humble Bundle.
No, we didn't.
And I wanted to talk a little bit about that. On Facebook, I see probably like every time I go on, I see another ad from Humble Bundle.
Hmm.
Um, do you think that Humble Bundle is doing well now?
Um, I mean, I see their ads all over the place too, um, especially when I'm online on my laptop. Um, you know, as far as how they were doing, I don't really have a good sense of how they started and how it's going now. So that's really tough for me to say.
I mean, they're a they're an ad promotions company basically.
Hmm.
So that like their first ad that I saw was one about they're selling a game. Oh, they're selling the like the Nintendo online subscription for $20, and people are like, why buy it from Humble Bundle when you can just go on your Nintendo Switch
Hmm.
and buy it for $20? So
Right.
I have a feeling that Humble Bundle isn't doing that well, in my opinion.
Well, I think it's more a case of, what's the value that they add? Because doesn't Humble Bundle, don't they donate some of their proceeds to charity?
I remember that vaguely. I think you're, yeah, Yeah, they do. Um, mm, I should check if they're a. I should have transitioned into this first and asked if they're a 501c3, but but
I'm not sure if they are, but I mean, I don't know that they position themselves as a nonprofit, but they donate some portion of their proceeds to charities. That's my recollection. I don't, I'm not 100% sure. I've never really looked into them that much to see what they're all about. So,
no, I looked it up on Google and it said no, Humble Bundle is not a 501c organization. So
okay.
so I cannot get a tax credit for buying something on there, which is just an unusual situation from the outside
Mhm.
looking in. I don't know. Let's see. Speaking of unusual situations and being as calm as a cucumber, have you seen uh, Microsoft Edge?
Which one, the old version or the new?
The one that no one's using, aka nobody being on Edge.
Right, because everybody's using Chrome, right?
Exactly. Here you're using Chrome or Firefox, but then again, who's
Or
using
my or if you
Firefox?
or in my company, they're still using Internet Explorer. So,
Yeah, but yeah, and there's certain like big companies that use Internet Explorer where they optimize it, but you've
mm,
got to be careful of using Flash and ActiveX controls and things like that.
right.
Seeing that um, the Flash isn't the Flash is getting discontinued, but um, Justice League Unlimited Snyder Cut is coming out fairly soon.
That was quite the transition there, Ian.
I, I know, right?
That was quite a transition.
I
Yeah, I
thought
think
that was
that's
just a
coming.
one-off joke. I mean, at least to me.
Mhm.
But no, like, where are we going with this again? Sorry.
Something about Edge and how nobody was using it, and Microsoft's finally removing the old version in favor of the version that's based on Chrome.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a lot to say outside of um what's it called? Quoting a song that has Edge in the name, but um I can't remember if it's from Aerosmith or Guns N'
You mean Living
Roses,
on the
but
Edge?
Living on the Edge, yes.
That's that. Yep, that is an Aerosmith song from I think 1994.
Which is a average song for them,
Uh-huh.
but Microsoft Edge will just have to just dream on.
Dream on, yes.
Dream until they come up with a new Explorer. So, um, uh, um, speaking about dreaming and nightmares, have you heard about the new Resident Evil game and how there's this 8-foot lady.
Apparently, Rule 34 is going a little crazy with that.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's like um, people came to realize that she's wearing heels and that um, she looks 9'6" when she wears them. So
Oh wow.
uh, people have suddenly found out their new fetish and want and want her to step on them. So only thing
That's quite the fetish.
I know. I mean, I have I have no interest in being stepped on by a uh,
I have no
eight
interest in being
foot
stepped
vamp.
on by anybody 4 feet, 5 feet, 6 feet, 7 feet, 8 feet, or even 9 feet tall.
No, uh, have no interest. Um, I mean, the one thing that I
I mean,
have
we're not trying to kink shame anybody, but
no, I
it's just not my bag.
me neither. Not my thing either. Um, the one thing that I have over um is the one thing I have right now is my height. Uh,
Hmm.
no, it just no. That's not how it works for me, at least. And if uh, Markiplier has anything to say about it, I don't care.
Hmm.
Because there was one point where he's like, I will break you, Philip DeFranco, for insulting Lady Demetrescu. That's the name of the character. But
Oh, okay. Yeah, I haven't played Resident Evil in a long time, so I'm vaguely familiar with what's in the new trailer. So
I have not played Resident Evil, so all I've seen are clips and things like that. And there's
mhm.
this one AMV YouTube skit where they play Resident Evil 4 clips to You're a Mean One, Mr. Grid.
Oh, that sounds like I'd be kind of down for. I have to try to find these.
I will, if you don't look for them, I will look, I will send it to you. But
Yeah, I'm gonna need to see those.
um,
I did play Resident Evil 4 and I have fond memories of that game. So
and I like seeing clips of that game. And
mhm.
it is, I think that is the Resident Evil game that got Resident Evil on the map, but then 5 wasn't as good,
Well, the
6 was bad, 7 I
7
heard
put it
was
back on
pretty,
the map again.
and 8 seems to be hitting it out of the park.
Hmm. Yeah,
uh,
well, we'll wait and
right
see what
now.
happens with number 8.
Yeah. Um, let's see. We talked about Zelda, and Zelda. Watch
Yeah,
Dogs.
we had a very Zelda heavy list on our this week.
Uh, let's see. We have talked about Watch Dogs. We talked about Robin Hood Men in Tights. I also saw free on YouTube Spaceballs.
Oh, yes.
Spaceballs. Let me see what other let me see what else is free. Give me a moment. Uh RoboCop.
Okay.
Um Freebirds, Starsky and Hutch, and nothing else worth that I can say is any good that I've seen. Oh, no, never mind. No, nothing else that I've seen so far. That I can say is a good free movie on YouTube.
Mhm.
But um and what else? So I do have one more thing, and that's I've kind of ended the class for something called the PMP. Have I talked about it on here? I forget.
The project management course.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we talked. Yeah, you mentioned it last time.
Yeah, I've finished that class, and soon enough I'm going to take that test and hopefully pass it.
Mhm.
It seems there is a lot of heavy work in terms of the statistics part of it. Like there's stuff like estimated value. So
Mhm.
stuff I haven't learned before. So other than that, seems like an easy enough test.
Mhm.
um, we shall see what happens. I think that's most of what I have, other than I finally beat Age of Calamity.
Woohoo! I have to start it one of these days.
Um, at this point, this game is each character's cap is at level 100.
Mhm.
I do see them making DLC though. I haven't on the file that I have saved right now, it says completed,
Mhm.
but it's
Does it
not.
have a
It's
dot after it?
no, it isn't 100% completed though.
Okay.
But I do have a feeling that there is going to be DLC for this game because
Mhm.
there is I won't, no spoilers here, but there are a couple characters that look like they're playable. So
Uh-huh.
we will probably see maybe, I don't know, 5, 10 more characters come out of this series, and I am not going to spoil anything in terms of there is at this point in the file I have like 16 characters.
Mhm.
I'm not going to say whom. You know that two of them are Link and Zelda, of
Right.
course.
Right.
But yeah, we shall um, see what happens.
When would you expect to see the DLC come out for that? Would that be probably in a couple months, or when Nintendo's trying to get folks interested in Breath of the Wild 2, let's say?
I mean, that could be the other thing, like seeing that they're buying the trademarks. It might be sooner, like maybe within the next few months, something like
Mhm.
that. But because it'd be fun to see some of these characters' backstories. There's a couple
Mhm.
that um there's a couple that should have backstories because they seem like interesting characters.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, that's basically all I have. And I mean, outside of heard in an article that um, the country should be vaccinated by end of this year, July. So
Mhm.
who knows? We shall see.
We'll wait and see what happens with that.
I'm not going to
And
go to any um, big conventions probably this year.
mhm.
We'll see though.
Yeah, I don't even think big conventions are going to be happening until, we get a critical mass in terms of vaccines, which depending on how, whatever ability, the pharmaceutical companies have to ramp up production could either be, by the beginning of summer or the end of summer or end of the year. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we shall see. And yeah, we have 2 more minutes. So Phil, where can we find you?
Same place as always, hiding out until the vaccine comes.
Yeah, same here. You can find me at uh waiting for the vaccine as well. You can find me at einformed.com, informed with an A, and also making clever memes with my name.
Mhm. I'll probably be, you know, I'll probably dive back into Cyberpunk 2077 at some point and see how it holds up.
Yeah, if I ever get that game, it'll be sometime like maybe end of the year.
Hmm.
But yep. All right, Dave. Um, as always, don't forget to be awesome. If you're still listening to this, watch Project for Awesome live stream for the next hour. um, they're doing great work this year. All right. Don't forget to be awesome, DFTBA.
Wear a mask, wash your
Wear a
hands.
mask. Wear 2 masks,
Yeah,
from what I've
yeah,
heard.
yeah, that's true. I've heard of that.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Talk
All
to you
right.
later.